Morning. Happy Saturday. That's not a good way to start the show. Clearing my throat. But happy Saturday. Hope everybody is doing well. Let me see. I put a poll up. I want to see if it comes up because it doesn't show me through StreamYard. So hopefully you guys can see that in the chat. And we're answering, are you going to go see Brand New Day? Yes, it's there. I see it. I know StreamYard doesn't give me the ability to look at. I guess it's a YouTube thing. That's why. Let's do this too. We could throw the comments on the stage. Let's see. We can do tall, font, big. All right. We'll try that. But yeah, let's say good morning to everybody hanging out in the chat. Mr. McGroovy was here. I'll be recording while you're on today, but have a blast, and I'll look forward to the rewind. Awesome. Good luck. Interesting to see who your guest is. Barry's here. Good morning, Barry. Hope you are doing well. James is here. Good morning, James. Mark is here. Good morning, Mark. Eric is here. Good morning, Eric. Let's see. I got something playing over here, which is distracting me. Agent de Camp, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Kaz, good morning. Callie's here. We are, Callie and Jordan, we've got a little fantasy football happening on the Instagram. I'm in a few different leagues. I run a league. Callie and Jordan has a league that I'm in. I'm in at least two others. So that's I'm getting excited for some football. I know it's still summer and we've still got a couple weeks away from preseason, but all we have is baseball right now, which is okay. Dave is here, Just Your Average Geeks. Dave, hope everything. I got to check Instagram. Hopefully packages arrived. Dave picked up a couple of the slabs that I had for sale to help fund my ASM run. For color, good morning, Jeff. Hope you are doing well. Mike is here. Oh, right. All right. Awesome. Yeah. I'll be there on Wednesday. I actually scored the Amazon Prime tickets, so we're able to get in a day early. I know that, Thursday night's pretty much opening night for Brand New Day or for any major movie, right? They do previews of Thursday night. But I was able to score tickets for Wednesday night. So excited about that. Ken is here all the way from Japan. Good morning. Tan is here. Good morning. Lyle's here. We got a bunch of people hanging out with us. Appreciate everybody being here. JSS is here. Let's see. Good morning, USA. Good. Yes. JSS is covering all of the time zones. I gotta see it on the big screen. And 11 p.m. Ken is hanging out late. Robert's here. Good morning, Robert. Hope you are well. Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I mean, like I said, I pretty much watch all sports. I mean, we were watching the World Cup, and I'm not a big soccer fan, but we have family who plays soccer, coaches soccer. So, and it's kind of like the Olympics thing, the World Cup, when you have nations versus nations, so you kind of get excited about it. So, but yeah, football is my number one. Hockey's a close second. And then, then the rest. So, but yeah, football. Can't wait for some football. And, Giants, New York Giants, there's some hope around them. Okay. Yeah. West Coast. Yes. Yeah. MJ's here. Good morning, MJ. I just bookmarked his latest video that popped up on my feed. Definitely got to go check that out. Ken, I'm assuming that's something good. Terry's here. Good afternoon, Terry. Hope you were doing well. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you are, yeah, doing well. Das is here. Good morning, Das. Das just started back with some videos, cataloging his collection. Box like 34, 35, 36, 37. So if you're not familiar with Das, go check it out. Check out his collection. So, it's sub. So I have, it's basically some of the sub 10 books in the ASM run. I have ASM 6, which was a generous gift from Dope Comics, and so that's really kind of my only sub 10 book. But well, it's AF 15 and ASF 1 are probably the two. They're the most expensive. But yeah, so from the ASM run, it's got to be probably issue 1 is going to be the most expensive. So that'll probably be one of the last books I pick up because that's going to require some savings. So I'm trying to knock off some of the other books first. So, let's see. Oh, yes. Yeah, I didn't notice it, but because I was clicking through, but there you go. With the granddaughter. Very nice. Let's see. Making sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Let's go back for my. Oh, very nice. So that sounds like a good day. Scatterboo auto out of 50. Oh, very nice. I know the Dart Scatterbo. Yeah, there's been some combination cards. I've seen like an Eli Manning and Dart card. Some some nice autos that have been pulled. So Coach is here. Good morning, Coach. Hope you are doing well. Mike is here. Good morning, Mike. Yeah, kind of just getting going. I've been all week, started on Monday, kind of a little congestion and sore throat, and I went to the doctor, and they're like, it's just viral. You kind of just weigh it, let it run its course, take some over the counter stuff, but it's kind of been lingering. So, yeah, hopefully, I've got my beverage, so hopefully the voice holds up. It's just kind of a mild thing, just enough to be annoying. So, and summertime, I hate when you get sick during the summer for some reason. If it's cold and if it's in the winter, you can just go take a nap. In the summertime, you want to go do stuff. You want to get outside. Locke is here. Good morning, Locke. Mike is here. Taku Mike. Good morning. Lawston Wallace is here. Good morning, Lawston. Appreciate you being here. One of the commissions that I got at Heroes Con this year. Here is a Lawston original. Yeah, got to meet Lawston. Picked up his art book. I don't even know where it's in my stack somewhere. But good morning. Appreciate you being here. Check him out. Lawston does commissions on Instagram. You can find him on Instagram and check out some of his artwork. He's been posting some of his original artwork. Definitely go check that out. If you're in the market for a commission, Lawston's your man. Yeah, came out excellent too. Really, it was one of the first things I picked up at Heroes. So kicked off Heroes Con in a really good way for me, and then hopefully it was a great show for you too. I know it was a busy weekend. So and I've got my T-shirt on today. I know it's San Diego Comic-Con weekend, and I know a lot of people we got a pretty good group of people from the community out there. I know Chris the Comic Vet, Dave still only 35 cent, and a number of people. A lot of the guys from the West Coast Paul in a 619 hanging out at San Diego Comic-Con. So pretty cool. So it'll be interesting to see. I know Collecting with Durs is out there with Rupp's comics. Be interesting to see the news that comes out this weekend. And oh yeah. I know that's been the northern parts of the United States have been getting some of the remnants of those fires. Yeah, kind of crazy to see some of the pictures like before and after, before the fires and then after, with the kind of haze that's around. So hopefully everybody's staying safe out there, and hopefully they get some rain and can get things under control. Yes, that was the video. MJ's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video just popped up on my feed as I was getting set up this morning, and clicked it to watch later. So definitely want to go check that out. Yeah, and Bjorn did a great Sonic Karam did a nice little video for me on my ASM run, and actually sent me he sent me a surprise in the mail, which I think is coming Monday from my comic shop, and one of the books I needed for my ASM run. And he also sent me a $100 gift card, and I've already used it and picked up a couple sub 100 ASM books with that gift card. So I'll have those books. I think they're arriving on Monday. So I'll have a video out shortly with the updates on the ASM run, because actually I picked up a few others too from Ben Parker Comics. He's been surplusing a lot of his collection over on Shortbox, and I picked up some books from him just directly, but picked up a bunch of probably about 10 ASM in the 300 range books from him. So yeah, I agree. I think I've never, the only really major one I haven't been to is San Diego Comic-Con. I've been to New York Comic-Con. I've been to Terrific Con. I haven't been to Baltimore. So those are the two that I'd like to get to go see, Baltimore and San Diego at some point, to kind of just compare. But yeah, from a true comic show, buying and selling of books and then creators, Heroes Con is by far the best. So let's see. Oh, very nice. Justin is here. Good morning, Justin. Hope you are doing well. Let's see what Tan says. I have the keys from when I just need to get yeah, that's a good way to do it. Like I know Dave's ideas and creations. Dave's been working on the low numbers, like 1 through 20 as well. And I mean, that's great. I'm going to try to buy books, some more expensive ASM books and some of the less expensive books to kind of keep momentum. But at some point, I'm going to just have to have some big books left, and where I'm just going to need to save some money, be diligent about saving money, maybe cut back on the new books that I pick up per week, and just really focus on saving money. Because speaking of having a plan for saving money for books that you need, Justin, Three Good Nerds has an excellent, he is working on acquiring Hulk 181, first Wolverine, and he has a diligent plan for saving money, getting cash back. If you haven't seen any of his videos, and last year he got one of his Grail cards, a Michael Jordan rookie, and he followed kind of the same steps, cash back, savings, just doing kind of nickel and diming his way to saving for that big goal. And so definitely taking some inspiration from Justin and how he approaches his savings for that, because an ASM 1 is going to be several $1,000s, and then an AF 15 is going to be even more than that. So so yeah, so I got my work cut out for me, but just save some money and time. That's really going to be the two things. I have Hollier's video. Yeah, he pulled so Magic. Yeah, so here's that's just the top card I pulled, but Magic, yeah, that's probably not a very good card to show. Let's see what we got. But anyway, the Marvel Magic cards that just came out about a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Nate pulled the Grail card out of that, which is like a $1,500 card. And so I got to watch that video. He showed it off Tuesday night. I hung out with Nate and crew on Tuesday night, and got to see the card. He showed the card, but yeah, it's like a $1,500 card. That's kind of hard not to flip, because I mean, you can buy more cards or buy, maybe some big books that maybe he's looking for with that 1,500. So I was to pick up some nice classic heroes. I had Amazing Spider-Man 33 to 275 in high grade, and every Hulk comic from Tales to Astonish to 360 and Very Fine Better. Oh, very nice. Yeah, heroes. If you're looking for a book, you can most likely find it at Heroes, because one of the vendors will have it. Baltimore, yeah. I got to look at that. I got to look at the dates again for Baltimore. All right, Lyle's got some stuff. UK books, yeah, and that's a rabbit hole that I've got one behind me over here. This hand, right there, one of the Spider-Man Weekly UK books, and that's a rabbit hole that I could certainly fall into after I complete my ASM run, but we'll see. A couple big books this week. Ooh, okay. Justin's working on something. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I read. I would, if I don't have a book, if I have a slab copy of a book and would like to read it, I can certainly go digital with it. But doesn't beat the feel of holding the book, having the book, right? So, there's Nate. We were talking about Nate just a second ago, and there he is. Oh, that's a great book to get. Yeah, I know. Son of Crom. I think Son of Crom is in the market for a Hulk one. I know Dope Comics recently picked up one. Oh, well, it was a little while ago. It was actually 2 years ago at Heroes. Yes. Yes, I know. I picked up a box, and I think I'm done. I might make some trades with some other, people if they're looking for particular cards. But yeah, I don't want to it's they're like little mini, when you're opening card packs, they're like little mini mystery packs, right? You don't know what you're going to get. So, oh, very nice. Very nice. Let's see. Yes, I have never been, but that's what I hear. I hear it's a really good show. Very comic focused as well. So I definitely want to be able to kind of check that out. Craig is not here. Well, I appreciate you not being here, Craig. Brad is here. Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, let's appreciate everybody being here. We was hanging out with the chat for 20 minutes, but a couple things I wanted to get to. I'm going to get rid of the comments because in the stream. But wanted to shout out channel members. I have links to all of our channel members down below. If you're not familiar, please go check them out. I did touch base with Cat Fan Comics Man this week. He'll be back at some point. He's still in the middle of moving and getting settled. He's had a lot of things going on personally. So, but I keep touching base with him, just making sure he's doing well. So definitely, he'll definitely be back at some point. He's just taking care of the priorities right now. But all of our channel members, Dead Man Comics Cover Show, Terry, Bruce, Kingdom of Nerds, Raph, Naman, a comic book worm. Now that we mentioned Naman, he'll probably show up. Still only 35 cent, who's in San Diego. Fantastic Comics and Art, Matt Likes Comics, Mr. McGroovy, Anachronic Comics, Pop House with Animal, Dave's Ideas and Creations, JSS Brooklyn, Sleepy Reader 666, Three Good Nerds, and Alex the Longest Cosplay. Appreciate everybody being channel members. And that's I wanted to start recognizing the channel members. And like I said, I have links for everybody down below. And then let's talk about the CBC Awards. We are, let's see, remove that, add that. There we go. 2 weeks left to nominate in the Comic Book Community Awards. And so if you are, and Loston, maybe you're not familiar, Comic Book Community Awards recognizes channels on YouTube, comic book creators channels on YouTube. And so I run the CBC Awards, which is a yearly awards, recognition for the community. Nominations are currently open. We have all of our different categories that you can nominate in. There's a list here, best comic book show, best entertaining or informative content, best live stream, best new channel, bunch of different categories. So nominations run for another 2 weeks. Just click on the nomination ballot, and that'll take you to the nomination ballot. But part of my shout outs this week, I wanted to recognize everybody who's nominated already. I appreciate it. We have over 300 ballots submitted so far. But now here is the list of channels that have already been nominated, and we're well over 300 channels and creators and shows already. So really just wanted to shout out all of these channels. A lot of some new names to me. And I'm sure there's some new names to you. So definitely go check out the nominee list and, go maybe discover a few new channels. Just pick a name off this list, pop it in YouTube, and you're off. So good to see some familiar faces, some new faces, some new, like I said, new channels to me. But updated this list on Thursday, I think. Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. So I'm just scrolling down a list, but a good list of people. So definitely go check them out. I wanted to check. Yes, Sector 2815 was a new addition with his show. Guess That Key. I'm scrolling. Yeah, there we go. There's Sector. I was glad to see that. That's a fun show on Wednesday nights. So, but that's all. That's the nominee list. Let me scroll all the way to the bottom, not to miss anybody. And sometimes you have duplicates. Comic Vet, for multiple shows. Council of Comics, Biggie Shack. Sometimes you get Otaku Mike, who's in the chat with us. But that's the full list. 2 weeks left. If you can, just share it out on Instagram. I made a post on Instagram earlier this morning, so definitely go check it out. Let's see. Let me check in with the chat. So yeah, just wanted to kind of recognize and again thank everybody, and our let me go back a page. All of our sponsors this year. Appreciate all of our sponsors who help support the awards and defer some of the costs. So all here, you can click on their links as well. So if you're unfamiliar, Johnny's Comic Stuff, Just Your Average Geeks, Uncanny Derek Comics, Side Quest Comics, Big Nasty Comics, Glenn Simpson Comics, Three Good Nerds, Avery Label, Nam and a Comic Book Worm, and Matt Likes Comics, all of our this year's sponsors. So really appreciate those guys. You can, like I said, just click on their links. Actually, I gotta add Avery's just Instagram link, but you can find Instagram, no YouTube, just Instagram. But yeah, so wanted to recognize the sponsors as well. So CBC Awards, yep, there you go. Thank you. Oh, very nice. Okay. Lost in, Jerry. He's just crazy work. I'm still amazed when I see people, submersing a comic in a bed of water, or the leaf casting that they do. Just amazing stuff. Comic book guy. He has a best scoring channel in terms of comics YouTube. Huh. Okay. If you have Tan, drop his link, so we can go check it out. I think, yeah, he does a bunch of reviews, right? Comic book reviews. Larry Green. Larry, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Thanks, David. Not near mint. I believe he's on the list. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I remember going through the list and seeing not near mint. Let's see if we can scroll. Sorry, it's probably not very good visually scrolling. Yeah, not near mint is there. Doc, good morning, Doc. Hope all is well. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. No, it's I have my moments with it when but for the most part, it's such a positive thing. And when people get nominated or people become finalists or when people win and the reaction that they have, it's definitely worth sometimes the the disgruntledness that I get sometimes with some people, but at the end it all balances out and it all works out. So let's see. There's the link. Comic Book Guy does reviews, Comic Book Jeopardy 10 months ago and now. Oh wow. That is pretty good. Yeah, I know there's been some recent channels that have done let me see. Let me grab that link. That have done some. You've just grown really quickly. I think. Where's that link? Let me. Who's grown? Who's grown really quickly, which I think because there's I think more. Obviously, there's more channels that come on pretty much every day. I think the community kind of jumps on their channels, but to go to 14K in just under a year is pretty crazy. So yeah, there's a number, right? And is it Pete or no? Is it Dr. Paul? Who does a Sunday? There's a Sunday night show, like conservation show that they do. And I know Jerry's been on. Jason has gone on that show. So yeah, good to see. It's just still amazes me of some of the work that they do. Dr. Paul, okay, yeah. Dr. Paul does it. Okay, Liberty Hill. Yeah, that's who I was thinking. Yep, Liberty Hill. Morning, Matt. So yeah, CBC Awards were, like I said, 2 weeks away. So definitely, if you haven't nominated, please get those in. And if you have, thank you. We will, be exciting once we get all the final nominations in and be able to compile the finalist list. Excited for that. I think we're going to have a good mix of, some new channels, some familiar channels this year. I think it's going to be a good mix of finalists. So we'll see how it shakes out. Yeah. So CBC Awards shout outs. Let me share. So my next topic was Marvel Comics dying. So interesting. And let me bring it up. Where is it? Yeah. So Chunko, Comics and Nerd Culture did and that was a pretty good look at that. That's a pretty good still shot of Chunko. He did a video about 9 days ago. Marvel Comics is dying, and here's why it happened and why it matters. So definitely a video. Definitely go check it out. I'll drop the link in the chat. And it definitely, I watched the video. I didn't comment because I had a lot to kind of say about it. So I think I'm actually going to do a video this week. But then Adam from Up and Adam Comics shared a video as well. So this link will probably, here's his link. So Adam, he actually shouted out the CBC Awards. So Adam, thank you for that. But he kind of had a follow-up with a little bit of data. He grabbed some recent, I don't know, sales data, but just data, how many comics are being published in a particular month and how many are of a certain character. So I thought it was a good educated reply to Chunko's video. So I definitely, now watching Adam's video, I definitely had some thoughts on it. So I think I'm going to put together a video on my thoughts on, do I think Marvel Comics is dying, or what's the state of the industry? It's kind of, we kind of see this cycle every so often. We'll see that it's kind of like the news cycle. Like within the comic book industry, you see these topics kind of come up every so often. So I just thought it was a good discussion. I wanted to mention both Chunko's video and Adam's video. So if you haven't seen those, I'd go check them out. Definitely worth the listen. And and you can comment or maybe even continue the discussion with your own video. JSS dropping Marvel moving, right? The whole moving their offices from New York to LA to be closer to the film side of things, TV side, which has been interesting. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of good. Congrats, Matt. Only 50 away from 1K. Big milestone. D&D. We have a lot of that in the comic book community as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's true, right? I mean, I think people just talk about indies in general, but Image has been, they've been putting out some good stuff. I mean, some of the indies, and this was a book I picked up like 2 weeks ago, Dispatched, and this is Ignition Press, right? But just I find that I kind of need a little bit of non-superhero stories in my comic books every so often. I'm not a big horror fan, so I don't really kind of gravitate towards the horror books. But like just like a drama type story in comic books, I like to have that mix of the superhero stuff and then kind of just an everyday type story, like kind of a movie type story in a comic book. It kind of helps me break up. But yeah, you kind of see, now that I've been YouTube for over 5 years, you kind of see some cycles with content and stories that get published. Obviously DC is having some big success with their Absolute line and Absolute Batman. And now we have an Absolute animated show. I saw there were some at San Diego. There were some Absolute Batman trading cards. Now I don't know if they're exclusive to the con or is that going to be a set that's going to be released. But so there's a lot of buzz around the certainly Absolute Batman right now, and obviously the books are doing really well in the secondary market. So it's kind of hitting on all cylinders, right? There's a lot of people talking about it. It's doing really well in the secondary market. They've got momentum now with an animated show, cards, a lot of stuff happening. So I think that's, it's kind of because DC is having such a momentum with the Absolute that they're able to, kind of knock Marvel a little bit. And, rightfully so. I think, I don't think Marvel has been, some of their ongoing stuff has been the best. And they rolled out the Ultimate Universe that kind of fizzled. I thought Ultimate Spider-Man was done really well, and it was actually selling really well. And then they kind of just ended it because that was their plan. I think that was kind of a missed opportunity for them. So, actually, Image has quite an Yeah, no, I definitely have a mix of you think of the Ghost Machine, which is under the Image label. That is doing, has been selling well, although I think they've been a little inconsistent in their publishing schedule, which has hurt them a little bit. I know I've complained about it, and others have complained about it. Um, so, um, oh, okay, didn't know there was an Ash Kid. Uh, so let's see. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a party if he hits 1K, right? Yeah, yeah, right. I guess, and I have a PlayStation. I've been a PlayStation guy since day one. I had the PlayStation One. I've had all of the PlayStation consoles, and I've always been a disc guy. I always buy the physical disc for my games because I just like having the physical disc and not having to, you run out of storage space on your console pretty quickly. Like Call of Duty takes up like, it's like 600 gig. It's like a half a terabyte of storage for just Call of Duty. So I always try to get the disc, so that I can maybe save on some of that real estate, storage real estate. But then that was a rumor that was out there too with Marvel going all digital. I don't know if that's a bad thing, and people will not like that comment, but we will still have 60 plus, 80 plus years of comic books between the golden age, silver, bronze, all of the books that will still be able to, collect and buy. Although they may be not printing new books, there's still such a long history of comic books that there's still will be plenty of books to collect and read. Although, and then the other argument has been, oh well, Marvel's stories and that have been trash. So why would you want to collect them if they're not good? If you don't like the art or don't like the stories, then why would you want to physically collect them? You can just subscribe and get them digitally and read them that way. And if they're not good, you don't have to take up the storage or um, so I guess that's kind of the other argument of people saying, well, Marvel's not good. Well, then if it's not good, why would you want the physical book? And will it have, if it's not good, will it have any, if you're just a flipper collector, will it have any value in the secondary market if it's not good? So I think that's kind of the other side of that argument. If they go full digital, um, I would think that you would still have to, well, even, and then if something is really good and has, gains momentum in digital, you could always print it, right? You could print it in a limited run and then make that an even more, collectible type item. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, when I think of the business world, a lot of companies are moving towards AI and automation with, apps and kiosks and things like that. So I think it's just progression of, technology. Um, I know there is uh, the job that I work at. They're looking at, having policies on AI and how to approach AI. So um, it's I don't think there's any way to avoid it, right? It's the future. While it's here now, but it will continue to be, growing in the future. So, did a Joe Scuba School, right? Illustration and work for DC Comics license, ran and Batman kids books for 11 years. Yeah, definitely check out Lost. And I showed it off in my Heroes Con video. I have a Loston's art book. So you definitely got to go check that out. Some great artwork, some great character renditions in that art book. So, uh, yeah, I think I know for me personally, summertime is difficult because I get home from work and I'm doing stuff around the house. We put a pool in. I'm in the pool. I'm walking the dogs. I'm doing a bunch of stuff, and so I don't get to YouTube. If I have a chance to watch YouTube during the week, I'll kind of have it in the background when I'm at work. But like in the evening for live streams, I don't get back to the computer till 8, 9 o'clock at night. And so a lot of times I'm missing some of the live streams. So the summertime is definitely eats into my YouTube viewing for sure. Drew is here. Good morning, Drew. Drew is he's a Spidey guy too, although he's really a card collector, but he's I like when he shows off his Spidey collection. Yeah, VV's kind of doing some releases of digital comics as well. So I got rid of my Marvel, is it Unlimited subscription? But at some point I want to go back and read Amazing Spider-Man from issue 1 all the way through and kind of catch up. So I'll probably do that digitally just because it's easier, easy to do that way. So yeah, it's interesting, right? DC's having success from a comic book standpoint, but then I think Marvel still from a movie standpoint has been king. And Spider-Man, Brand New Day is coming out next week. So that, yeah, all the toys, right? Interesting to see. That's another rabbit hole. I have not gone down. I agree with you. Taking Ultimate Spider-Man was an excellent read, but seemed to fizzle. Yeah, it kind of. I didn't realize they only had a 2-year plan with the Ultimate Universe, which I guess is okay. But I think some of Marvel's best storytelling over the last couple of years has been their out of continuity stuff. I think their main continuity stuff has been just okay. It's been some of these out of continuity, else world type stories that are, and it's like Absolute Batman, right? It's out of main continuity and it's doing really well. So just nuts, a ton of new titles. Looks like a lot of fun. Doom Patrol, Jonah Hex. I know there's a lot of Jonah Hex fans, right? Demon and a new Batman book by Absolute Manhunter team. DC's, yeah, DC, seems to be hitting on all cylinders. And I heard a rumor. Now, I don't know if I heard this at HeroesCon or was there. I heard before the Absolute Universe, Scott Snyder pitched some ideas to Marvel, as far as I understand, and Marvel turned it down, and then he went and pitched Absolute to DC. So I don't know how true that is, but it would be interesting to know what he was pitching to Marvel, because he's obviously, he's had two big hits with Court of Owls that he did, and now obviously the Absolute side. So I saw it on Instagram, some of the packs, but I haven't been on Whatnot in a couple months. But I saw somebody on Instagram open them up, kind of previewing them. But I don't know, those packs are just so, and I mean, I think if you go back and look at any of those Whatnot packs from previous, they did a Daredevil, and they did, I forget what else. Those are like, nobody talks about those anymore, and I doubt they have any secondary value at all at this point. So yeah, my kids, all my sons and daughter all have Switches. Same reason, to be able to kind of play on the go, right? Let's see, I'm way behind on the chat. Let me try to catch up. Let me stop rambling. Yeah, I there's a big chunk of people that really like the physical. I'm okay with the movies. Not, I used to have a bunch of music CDs and DVDs, but we really thinned that out because it just takes up a ton of space. And yeah, if there's an older movie you want to watch, you can find it on one of the streaming services. So even if I pay for that streaming service for a month and then cancel, I can watch what I want and then kind of get rid of it. So I've kind of steered away, other than comic books, I've steered away from physical media. But video games, and I don't play a lot, I don't buy a lot of video games. I'll buy a handful of titles a year. I still want the physical I want the physical disc, and that's, like I said, is because I just don't buy a ton. First week in August, we agreed to grab CD books. Frankly, like the Ultra Scare, the Batman box. What is the Batman box? I'm not sure I saw any news on that. Let's see. I usually pay most. Yeah, I mean, I've been picking up new comic books, physically. There's very few that I'll read digitally. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's certainly an option, right? If you're not connected for whatever reason, having the player, DVD player, or even VHS or whatever it is to pop in an old movie and watch it, that's definitely a way to go. Um, I like digital reading because when I got back into collecting a couple years ago, well, almost 6 years ago at this point, for me to catch up on the current run of Spider-Man, it was probably at issue 30. So I went back and read issues 1 through 30 digitally, and it was just easy because I could do it from my phone or my tablet and not have to worry about. And if I was traveling or whatever, I didn't have to worry about collecting. I didn't have to worry about stacking books with me. So um, let's see. Nice. Let me see. Let's see what the poll. I put up the poll about who's going to see. Let me see the results. I can't see it in StreamYard, but I can see it. All right. So 61% said yes, they're going to go see it opening weekend. Oh, it just changed. 63 said yes, and 37 said no. Does it add a total of 35 votes? So, all right. So more than half are you going to go see it opening week. Like I said, I'm going on Wednesday. My wife's going with me. My oldest son is going. We have a 7 o'clock show Wednesday night, so I'm definitely going to probably post a quick reaction video or non-spoiler video, and then depending on, I'll probably give it a week or so. I'll probably go back and watch it myself. Again, go see it again. So Tony's here. Good morning, Tony. Hope you are doing well. Yes, I don't miss those days. It was when my kids were old enough to drive. It was scary, but also exciting that I didn't have to be the chauffeur. So yeah, I totally understand that. Yes, yeah, for sure. I gotta go. It's in my queue, Terry. It's in my queue. Um, outside of continuity. Yeah, and I think less baggage to worry about. Yes. Yeah. When you have, 60 plus years of history with a character, all the things that continuity that you need to remember, the outside of continuity makes it easy, kind of gives the writers a little bit more freedom to tell a story, right? And typically those are going to be a limited series, 4 issue, 6 issue. They can kind of, you're not sucked into an ongoing, and a little bit more freedom. So yeah, no, I definitely agree. Hex is just a mini series. That's interesting because I know there's a lot of Jonah Hex fans for sure. Let's see. Let me catch up. Let's see. Yeah, and I think that's talking about the whole our comic books dying, is Marvel dying. There's so many vintage stuff that people can collect, and so many of those books that are still out there. If they stop printing new books today, there'd still be a ton of books to buy and sell. So question: how important films are to comic book sales? DC is going despite Supergirl film. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some correlation to it. I'm sure if people are seeing a movie for the first time, like a superhero movie, if they're going to see Spider-Man for the first time, they may be interested to kind of now check out the comic books or know a little bit more. So I think you potentially could have some people that cross over. But you know, obviously, I think anybody who reads comics will go see the movie or watch it eventually on streaming. But I think you probably have a small percentage of people that watch a movie and then maybe get interested in a comic book or so. So, Dan, good morning, Dan. Hope you were doing well. Let's see. Let's see what Dan. Collect all my superhero DVDs because I don't want to behold. Yeah, no, it's certainly a choice to do that. I mean, we do have, we subscribe to Disney Plus because the family we like Disney movies. Obviously some nostalgia as growing up with the family and the kids, seeing some of those Disney movies over and over again. It has the Marvel movies. So Disney's kind of really and we have Prime because we have Prime Video because we use Amazon for buying stuff. So we have Prime. So those are really the two services I have. I did buy Apple TV because I wanted to watch Cape Fear. And so once that's done, we'll cancel it. And then I may pick up another one of the services for a period of time just to watch it. So we kind of round robin our services so that we're not buying all of the streaming services at once because there's simply not enough time to watch all of those. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of Second and Charles is a place that you can buy used media like that. There's a Dead Media Collections here. Well, it's about 45 minutes from me in Augusta, Georgia. They sell all DVDs and things like that. So that physical media type thing is certainly seeing a renaissance, I guess. Too many people talking. I usually try to get the back row in the theater so that nobody's sitting behind me, so that I don't get those annoying people behind me. That's the one way I avoid it. I'll try to avoid it. Taylor, you're gonna have to watch the replay. I just don't. I'm not. The voice is. I've been a little froggy. So yeah, I can't do it again as much as I would like to. Battle of the Planets. I love that. I love the original series, right? That's why I love Archie. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Daredevil Born Animated has been very good. Before you get rid of Apple TV, watch Widow's Bay, one of my favorite new shows. Can't remember. Oh, okay. We'll check it out. My wife and I are always looking for something to watch. I know there's been some really good Silo I've heard. Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. Oh, don't know that one. Severance, okay. All right. Yeah, I've heard Ted Lasso. I've never watched it. And I like Sudeikis. So, or have a good one. All right, maybe we'll stick around because we're always looking for something to watch. We watch very little broadcast television anymore. We use YouTube TV is kind of our provider, and it's really just I use it for football, and you can buy that separately, but I use that for like the football package. But okay, yeah, all right, some recommendations for sure. All right, let's see. Let me go. The old guy's got to look at his notes. All right, so we talked Marvel Comics dying. We talked Brand New Day. All right, let's show some new comics. Let's see. So I showed you Mr. Lawston Wallace, who's in the chat. Definitely go check him out on Instagram. One of the commissions I picked up at HeroesCon this year. So he's a great artist, has a great art book too. Go check that out. But some of the new books I picked up this week. Amazing Spider-Man 33 Legacy 997. So just 3 issues away from 1,000, the big issue 1,000. I was thinking about this. Joe Kelly has been, it's been good. It's been much better than Zeb Wells and who was before Wells? I'm drawing a blank. Um, this has been a better run than those two. Gleason, not Patrick Gleason. It was Zeb Wells and somebody in the chat. Who did before Zeb Wells? I can't remember. But anyway, this has been solid. It's been good. It's been the best run we've had, best storytelling we've had in a while. Ed McGuinness does the art, solid Spidey art. I mean, there we go. Solid Spidey art. So I'm interested to see where this goes. 1,000. I hope Joe Kelly's taken some chances with some of the stories. So we'll see. Spider-Man: Long Way Home. This has been okay. It's kind of 2 issues in, and I'm not really sure what's going on with the story. Let's see. The Amazing Spider-Man featuring now. I'm looking at the advertisement. I guess there's another Spidey book that's coming out, or is that issue 1,000? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, because issue 1,000, they're going to have obviously multiple writers telling Spidey stories. So that's what that says. But wait a minute, Dan Slott's not writing Spidey. Wolverine 24. Again, we've got hype in the Spidey. This has been fun. Nothing earth-shattering happening in the Wolverine storyline. You've had Alpha Flight. You've had some secondary characters, Alpha Flight, in this. You've had Silver Sable's been in it. So it's been good. Eric, good luck out there in the mean streets delivering mail. Yes, Lawson did an awesome Dead Man. Nate? All right, Nate. Have a good one, and good luck back to work next week. He is back to teaching. My comic room game opening day. My logo sold out. Yeah, well, like I said, we were able to score the Amazon tickets. So so we were able to go on Wednesday. Captain America 13. This is Chip Zdarsky's writing. Story with Dr. Doom and Red Skull. This has been pretty good. A lot going on. I guess it's tying into maybe the Avengers series. There's a lot going on with Red Hulk and Doctor Doom, and so. But it's been good, and actually, it was interesting to see. Cap is beat up in this one, and he's in a coma, and Spider-Man comes in to kind of. You've got Sharon Carter there, so he gives her a break. And is it Sharon Carter or am I? Let's see. So basically, gives her a break. She's there watching, with Steve, and so Spider-Man comes in and kind of says, "Hey, Cap, we need you back. You're the best of us. We need you back." Space Ghost, annual number 1. So I'm not sure if this wraps up. They've been doing these different volumes with Space Ghost. This has been just a fun read, not anything too crazy, but just a fun nostalgia, kind of Space Ghost, good art. Yeah, that's been fun. Let me see. Yeah, 2 million copies. Let me see. Yeah, Spidey's usually always right. Yeah, it's still ASM is still in the probably the top 5, at least top 10 for sure. 2 other books that I haven't read yet. So picked up Kirkman's Terminal. I heard this was okay. I haven't read it myself yet, but I'm definitely interested to check it out. And then the last book, which I haven't read this one, Rocket Fellas, issue 13. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. Artwork has been good, but they're doing some crossover stuff with it, and I don't know. The story seems, the only knock I have on the Ghost Machine stuff has been it's been kind of slow to develop. And I know they've got this overall timeline that they're kind of this connected universe that Ghost Machine has going on, and I think they're trying to have everything kind of merge, and it's been slow. So, but yeah, those are the books. Well, those were the last 2 weeks. We were out of town 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, so I picked up the last 2 weeks on this past Wednesday. So, nose is running. All right, I think that's telling me it's time to go. And just as Rich shows up. Good morning, Rich. Hope you are doing well. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you this week. We went through all of my topics that my notes, my old man notes. But yeah, Chicago Schultz shows up. Good morning. Part of and both guys, Rich and Chicago, both part of my fantasy football league, which will be gearing up soon. But yeah, appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, definitely go check out some of the recommendations. We've got channel member links all down below. If you're not familiar, go check those guys out. Definitely vote and nominate in the CBC Awards. Check out Loston on Instagram for commissions and some of his art book. Definitely go check that out. Let's see, Christopher, what's up? Have a great weekend, everybody. Let's see. We'll play you out with something. But yeah, appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate everybody who's voted, nominated in the awards. Continue to do that. 2 weeks left. And yeah, we'll be back next weekend as well. But yeah, appreciate it. We had a good group of people, some new faces hanging out with us today. Thanks, Matt. I needed that. JSS. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next Saturday.